It's been a while and that is back with the milk. And by milk, of course I mean another deck profile video. So the battle is basically only hit HUDIE, so I think we can expect the meta to be a bit closer to the release of EX11. Today I would like to present one of the top performing decks, even finishing top 4 in the worlds. This is Cinderella's OTK story. Starting from the level 2, we have PT15 Nyaromon. Just one letter off from the canon level 2, which is Kyaromon. With how the overclock ruling works, this Digitama will enable the main star of the deck to attack 3 times in a turn. Stay tuned for the combo section later. Now we have the start of the deck, a playset of EX11 Cendrillmon. It has 2 effect blocks. The first block, when digivolving and on play, you can play one level 4 or lower puppet from the hand and then play familiar tokens as much as your opponent's Digimon. This means that no matter how wide your opponent board is, you will have 2 more bodies most of the time. The second block is a when digivolving and when attacking effect without a once per turn that gives -3k DP for each of your Digimon to one of your opponent's Digimon for the turn. Note that both are triggered at the same time. For the when digivolving timing, so you can choose which one to activate first. And then the next level 6 is a copy of EX9 Kaguyamon, which gives all your puppets and tokens blocker and alliance. Not the go-to mega, but it can contribute to the OTK. We take a bit of detour to level 7, in which we have 2 Nyabutmon. This is not necessarily important, but it serves a specific role to give a lasting DP- so that it can delete immune opponents, such as for Cendrillmon. Next, we go to the level 5. First, a must include is a playset of the EX9 Karakurumon. By deleting one other puppet or token, you can digivolve for free. This is far better recently, given the increased card pool for Liberator-based puppet decks. We also have 2 copies of the EX11 Karakurumon. This is not your go-to level 5, but it helps temporarily widening the board. Going to level 4s, we have a playset of EX11 Kokeshimon. As the deck utilizes Mirai, this Digimon has been an indispensable part of the strategy, as it can play one of the Mirais when we have one or less tamer, almost guaranteed to proc. The other Digimon is a playset of the Promo 165 Shushumon. It is really valuable to widen your board, and the added surprise body from the security effect is also appreciated. And finally, we have a random 1 copy of the EX9 Kokeshimon, as sometimes you need cheap removal without having to go to the megas. For the last level, we have a relatively higher ratio, as many effects need a constant supply of level 3s. First is the playset of the main searcher, the ST Shumon, almost guaranteed to get 2 cards every time. Next, we have the EX7 Shumon that reduce digivolution costs. The reduced digivolution cost will be really important, as this deck needs excellent memory management. And then the last Shumon is a playset of the EX11 Shumon. This is really good as it effectively counts as 2 bodies with its own deletion effect, playing another token. And then finally, to complete the roster, we have 2 copies of the ST Ponchesmon White, just for another drawer, to give a bit of more consistency. We switch a bit and go through the option first. It is pretty simple actually. First, a playset of Yellow Training for additional search power and a 2 cost drop. And then finally, we have one of the most expensive topper card recently, which is the unique emblem Narrative Run, and we need a playset of it. So basically it is effectively a 2 cost Shumon without the need of putting a body, But the strongest point is that whenever a Mirai is played, you can activate its delay to digivolve for a -3 cost to a level 6 or lower Liberator cards. Finally, we have the Tamer lineup. We have a playset of Kinosaki Mirai from EX9, which is another searcher without the need of dropping a body. It can also recycle itself whenever something digivolves into a puppet by playing any puppet or Arisa for 3 cost less. We need more Mirai, so we also add a copy of EX11 Kinosaki Mirai. Not the best effect as it depletes resources from your hand, but it combos well with the OG Karakurumon. And the last tamer is the starter deck Kinosaki Arisa. It seems a bit random, but this card adds an alternative OTK route for the deck. After winning with Medusa, this deck has been my daily driver, and it's actually one of my decks with the highest win ratio, just over 70%. This is the list that I used to win a mini tournament, and this is the list that I used to rank second in Dragon Star Akihabara Station's Evolution Cup, just losing in the final against Medusa. First, let's see why Narrative Ron is the most expensive emblem out of the novel emblems. This is all thanks to the EX9 Mirai. Let's say you have one random tamer already and one EX9 Mirai on the board. For the other emblems, this is the end, as you already have 2 tamers. But in Mirai's case, when you digivolve into Kokeshimon, the Mirai also triggers, so you can use its effect first, the bottom deck itself, and play something for the cost of -3. Then finally, continuing to the Kokeshimon effect. Now it sees that you only have one tamer, so another Mirai can be played, and now the emblem itself can be triggered. Let's talk about the common strategy. If you have the perfect hand, you can reach Cendrillmon by just paying 1 cost. First, we need an emblem ready on board and EX7 in racing. Move Shumon, and then you digivolve into Karakurumon for 1 cost. Then Karakurumon plays a Mirai. At this point, these 2 effects triggers, so you use the Mirai first to search, open 3 and take 1 Liberator or Puppet, and then finally use the emblem's delay to digivolve to the EX9 Karakurumon. And then at this timing, you can trigger Mirai to bottom deck itself and play something. The best target is the EX11 Shumon. Then finally we can go to the Karakurumon's effect, delay Shumon, and digivolve to Cendrill, and we're still at 0. Now with Cendrill's on digivolution effect, if you use EX11, this is actually triggers at the same time. And then if you need a higher -DP, you can activate the Shumon effect first to play a token. Then finally you can go to the Cendrillmon's on digivolution. For example, this is the best target, which is Shumon. And then finally for each of your opponent Digimon, you can play 1 token. Let's say the opponent has 1 Digimon, play 1 token. Then finally the newest trigger, Shumon on play, you get another token. So by just paying 1 memory, if the opponent has 1 Digimon on board, now you have 5 Digimon on board. And then finally you can go to Cendrill, it's -15 KDP. Or maybe if you don't have this Shumon or you don't have this Shumon, still you're just 2 tokens short, and you still end with 3 bodies anyway. And that's a guaranteed -9k. Now let's go to the pseudo OTK. If we just follow the standard scenario, the deck will always be 1 hit short of winning. So you would appreciate going first and putting a body to search, and then on the next turn hitting the security. So now the opponent has only 4 security, because if it's only 4 security, then the Cendrillmon can clear the game. So if we keep turn, we need 2 extra bodies on board, for example maybe 2 tokens. And then if we actually pass turn at 1, then we need 3 bodies on board, not counting the Cendrill itself. So now let's assume that we are keeping turn, so we need only 2 bodies at 0. First we attack with Cendrill, and then we do alliance with another body. Now we are checking 2. And then finally we need to pass to the memory to the opposing one. So let's say we don't have this one, we have this Shumon instead. Then we can try to digivolve for 1 cost. This is important. This is why we mentioned before that the memory management is really important in this deck, because you need to consistently be able to pass to your opponent's one. Now because the memory is in 1, you need we are in the end of turn timing, and the Cendrillmon can use overclock. So basically just delete the suspended token previously to overclock, and then use Nyaramon's effect to trash your top security and gain 1 memory. Now you have the memory back in 0, and then Renke with the other extra body. Now it has another 2 checks. Then finally you just need to pass turn and delete this one to overclock for the game. The OTK is still possible, but we need Arisa on board. So let's say we start at 3, and then we digivolve to Cendrill for 1 cost by using training. And then let's say the opponent has 2 memories, not 2 memories, the opponent has 1 Digimon. So first, by Cendrill's effect, we can play, for example, Shumon, and then for each opponent Digimon, we're gonna play a token. Now at this timing, you can trigger both Arisa and Shushumon. Just to avoid that we forgot, we just tap the Arisa first, give Shushumon rush, and then Shushumon play another token. Now, basically, this Shushumon will replace the missing hit, so you can try to hit with Shushumon first, for example, getting the first hit, and then you can Renke Cendrill with the token, doing another 2 checks, and then finally you just need to play something so that the opponent has 1 memory. Let's say we play Shumon. Now we're at 1, we are in the end of our turn, so probably you just delete the token that is suspended, attack with Cendrill, and then Nyaromon use its effect to trash your security and gain 1 memory. Finally Renke with another body. Then you got the 2 checks. Then you just need to pass turn, delete a token or puppet, and then overclock for game. Another possible OTK is to have both Kaguyamon and Cendrillmon on the board. So basically Kaguyamon gives the Cendrillmon another alliance, so now it can check 3 securities given you have enough body. So let's say we have 2 memories, you can attack with Cendrill, and then alliance with 2 bodies. This checks 3 memories. No, checks 3 securities. And then you play something to pass turn, play Shumon. Then because we're at 1, Kaguyamon can trigger to play something from the trash, and then Cendrillmon can trigger to do the overclock. Basically you just delete the suspended token, use Nyaromon to gain 1 memory back, and then you can actually Renke or alliance again with another body, checking 2. Then finally you just need to pass turn and then overclock for game again. So what do you think about the deck? I think the deck has really good advantage compared to the other decks because of the consistency, thanks to the abundance of searchers and also drawers. Just make sure that you didn't hit that Crimson Blaze. So when you're being asked, is the deck good? Would you answer yes king or no king? Comment your judgment down below. So thank you for watching, and I hope it helps, and I hope you can take some info from this video, and be sure to like and subscribe and share to your other digital friends. So, digital gate close. Bye bye.